Alright everybody, so I have a ton of trees to repot. So I just did a video on a maple tree, which hopefully you already watched that one. If not, go back and watch that one and I'll wait. Alright, so let's go ahead and get on this one. So this is, I believe, the very first give me a second. I saw a bug on here. I want to get it. Where'd you go? There you go. I got him out. My very first procumbens juniper, I believe, is this tree right here. I got it as a, pretty sure I got it as a starter bonsai, so it was already in some sort of bonsai shape. I've done some work to it. I've done a lot of work to this tree. I've really enjoyed this tree. It's got a somewhat of a typical bonsai triangular shape to it. Somewhat of a two-dimensional tree. I'm not a huge fan of two-dimensional trees. This one's as two-dimensional as I like, or as I would allow my trees to get. Although it is growing out this way a little bit more, and I'm growing it out this way just a little bit more. I'm going to let this grow out into this space here. I don't want it to look like a shrub that you would have in a front yard, but I want it to look like a natural, at least somewhat natural looking tree. It's got some branches on it that people that have a lot more experience than me would probably say I need to get rid of. Like this group right here is blocking the trunk right here, and that's something that most of the time you don't allow that. But I don't like seeing the trunk all the way up the tree. I don't like seeing that. That's just something that I'm not into. I don't like it. If that's something that you like and your trees all look like that, that's totally cool. They do look good. I mean, it's a great tree. That's kind of the style of stuff, and I don't want to offend anybody. Obviously, everybody has their own likes and dislikes with bonsai and, well, life in general. So anyway, I don't like seeing the whole trunk of my tree going all the way up. Although if you look at the back, you can almost see the trunk of the tree going all the way up, and that's why I'm growing this out, why this is growing out, why this is here. I've got some foliage right here that I'm letting grow. So yeah, so it's not going to be just able to see the whole trunk. And this tree kind of reminds me of a pine, and just the way it's growing, an alpine area pine, but Juniperus procumbens not. So anyway, this tree needs a repot. This needed a repot for a long time. I finally got a pot that I really want. I've been wanting this pot, been eyeballing it on Amazon for a while. It's just a really interesting pot, if you ask me. I like the two-tone of it. And I like that it's square, little rectangle, and it's a good quality pot. It's got a stamp on it. I'll bring that in and show you guys. I don't know which direction the stamp goes, if it's this way or, oh, now you can't see anything. Lights. No, it's just going to be all bright. What if it goes this way? I don't know. There we go. Now you can see it a little better. Alright, so I'm going to take this tree out of this pot, and I'm going to put it in the other pot. I don't really think I need to do any pruning on this. I think it's good in that aspect. doesn't have any wire holding the tree into the pot. So simple enough, comes right out. And one of the main reasons why I'm repotting it into this other pot that I'm repotting it into is because the pot that I had it in was a glazed pot, and junipers and pines typically don't. You don't display them in glazed pots. You put them in an unglazed pot. I'm not 100% sure why. That's just what I see. I like it. I like the unglazed pots. So if we look at the roots, it's got a good root knot all the way around. It's not overly root bound, which is also good. And the lower roots are still moist from the watering yesterday. I did sort of start to water it today, but then I decided not to water it just now because I'm going to repot it, and I don't want to repot wet soil. So I'm going to clean out the bottom part of the roots and the sides. I'm not going to dig into the root ball too much because this is it freely drains still. It's not root bound at all. I probably could have gone another year. I could have probably done this next spring. I just got this pot. I'm excited about it, so it's not going to hurt the tree to repot it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do it now. If you notice, this side of the roots was a lot thicker than this side of the roots. This side there was more soil because this side faces the sun. So if you want your roots to evenly disperse throughout the soil, turn them towards the sun, a different direction each day. You don't have to, honestly, you don't have to do it every day. You do it every couple of days, every 4 or 5 days even, and it'll work. You just have to turn them every so often, and it'll evenly disperse the roots. Honestly, it'll actually evenly disperse the canopy growth too. It changes the way that the canopy grows. So this tree, I will be turning this tree more. That's actually kind of something I knew with growing houseplants. You want to turn them because they start growing towards the window, but I didn't realize that it had this much of an effect on a bonsai tree, and it does. I just recently learned that. And if you have accent plants, or there's another name for plants that you put with your bonsais, and I don't remember that name off the top of my head. It's a Japanese word, and I don't know what it means either. So yeah, if you know, then let me know, because I'd like to remember that kind of stuff. So this chopstick had a flat tip on it before, now it's got a rounded tip on it from repotting that other tree. Just trying to clean off some of this moss off the bark here. I guess for now. Working out just a little bit of the upper part of the soil. I'm going to add some new soil to the top here. Still seems like it might have some organic soil left from its original pot, because it was a box store bonsai. This wasn't from a bonsai nursery. So they typically have more of a potting soil rather than bonsai soil. Trim all these back. There we go. I don't want to cut all of it off, just a little bit. The really long stuff. Just trim it back. Just like that. Alright. I'm not going to mix this soil because it's different soil. So the potting angle on it previously, it was really leaning. Kind of see it. It was really leaning, and then it kind of leans back towards the front up here. And now that I look at that, I really like that. I'm just going to leave it like that. I really like that. So I'll put this up here for a second. Grab a screen. That. It's not going to be long enough. Cut a couple pieces of wire for the to tie it down into the pot. I've actually really started to tie most of my trees down in their pots. There for a long time I didn't. My tropical trees, don't tie them down as much as I do my deciduous and conifers. I'm gonna start tying these down a little bit. I'm gonna start tying them down more often because the tropical trees grow roots much faster than the deciduous and conifers. So if I have a tree out in the nursery that is recovering from a repot, I don't want it to be waving in the wind and damaging the roots, because then it takes 10 times as long for new roots to grow, and then it gives it a much higher chance of not being successful in a repot. So I want to make sure that my trees have the highest level of success that I can provide them. So, hence, I'm going to wire everything that I need to. Alright. And I'm going to use the larger particles again. Very bottom of the pot here. Something I kind of thought about a little bit, which I haven't heard anybody talk about this. So, what do y'all think about charcoal in the base of the pot? Just what are your thoughts? If you think it's necessary, if you think it's not necessary, something you never thought about but are thinking about now that I mentioned it. Or if you've actually heard anything about if it is or is not beneficial to your trees. Really working this one down in here, nice and tight. Not deep enough. I'll take off some more. Or take out some of the soil. I don't want the larger particles in the small soil, but the smaller particles in the larger soil isn't a big deal. There's my scoop. take a little bit more off of the bottom here. There we go. That's better. Tilt it a little bit more. This direction. Trying to avoid this branch here. That's great. A little wire came off the roots. There we go. That's much better. That feels a lot better already. So, yep. Get the wire on the roots properly, we'll be good, right? After this, I'm going to show you guys a tree that I did not too long ago. I did film it. I took a lot of effort in filming it, and the memory card that I was using was corrupted. So the whole video does not exist. so I'm just going to show you the tree. I did want to talk to you guys a little bit about the $50 bonsai challenge that we did months ago. I can't even remember how many months ago. I think it was early late fall. It was put out by Bonsai. Yeah, I don't remember the guy's name. Really cool guy, does some really good videos. So check out that channel, Bonsai. Yeah, we did a challenge where we got a tree, a pot, and the soil all at the same place. Most of us, not everybody could do it. So I mean, there were some people that did not follow all the rules, which it's kind of tough to do some of that if you're in a very remote area, to be able to get all the pieces in one place. Because like where I'm at, I can't just go buy a bonsai pot, a tree, and soil at the same place. You can get a tree, or you can go to a different place and get a bonsai pot, and I have to order my soil. So anyway, I did a tree where I did get all the parts from the same place. I used gravel instead of bonsai soil, which honestly it turned out really well. I'll show you the tree once I get this one repotted, but it turned out really well, and the tree was healthy throughout the whole winter, and I repotted it. I trimmed it just a little bit. I didn't have to trim a whole lot because the tree was just, it was still looking really well the way I originally potted it. So it was looking good. So I really didn't do a whole lot of trimming to it, but I did repot it, and I put it into a really cool pot that I like. Honestly, I'll tell you guys, I get most of my bonsai pots off of Amazon. I do get them sometimes from thrift stores, and I have bought them from a bonsai location that's about, I think it's about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour from my house. So that's not someplace I go all the time. I try to go there as often as I can, but I mean, it's a long ways out of the way of anything for my house, so I don't typically get up there very often. So anyway, most of my pots I get on Amazon, and you can get some really cool stuff. The pots that I get most of the time are from Amazon. And anyway, I repotted the $50 Bonsai Challenge tree into this pot that I got from Amazon, and I think it looks really good. I think it fits the pot really nicely. I had it in this ginormous pot. The tree, I got it, it was in a five gallon pot, I think it was. And I ended up putting it in a pot almost this size. So I'll show you guys that after I get done repotting this. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about with the $50 Bonsai Challenge from Bonsai Yeah is I have not seen any updates yet. It's coming up on spring, and I just want to put out there, I'm going to show you guys an update at the end of this video, and I think it'd be really cool to see some updates start coming out of that Bonsai Challenge, which I saw so many people that I watch on YouTube do this challenge. Nigel Saunders did it. Aussie Bonsai Bloke did it. Oh man, I'm trying to remember the other names of the channels. This guy I watch in the UK, super awesome guy. I just cannot remember the name of his channel. His name is Jay. He watches all my videos. I watch all of his videos, comment back and forth. It's a lot of fun. I think it's so much fun doing the YouTube videos because you can do that with people around the world. You know, comment on their videos and they comment on yours, and you learn from them, they learn from you. I will put his channel in the description. It's just, I just don't know how to pronounce it. It starts with a Z. But anyway, just want to give him a shout out in this video because I watch all of his videos, and he's a super cool guy. He's really silly a lot of times, but I think that makes his channel awesome. So don't take offense to me saying you're silly, because I love it. It's great. Alright, so this is feeling really solid in here. There's some of the soil off the roots there. Alright, I'm going to move this outside, put it on the bench, and I'll bring you guys out there and show you the other tree also. Alright, some of my other trees that I have out here. So this is where this tree goes. The ground's uneven. Come on. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to put this back up here. It is kind of a weird setup how the front of the tree is facing backwards, or is sloping away from you, but it kind of comes back at you right here. Grab the hose. Alright. Going to water this in. I'm going to water it until the soil or the water comes out clear. This is going to come out kind of dirty at first. Maybe. so it's actually pretty clean. Just like that. And then my junipers, I always water the foliage on them. Just like that. Yeah, you can't hardly see it because of the tree behind it. Because there's another juniper right behind it. There we go. You can kind of see it better that way. It's a little crooked, but it should be all wow. There we go. Now you can see it. Looks pretty good. There's another juniper that I did recently. That's the other one that's on top there. I really like that one too. That one was a garden center to go in the ground type of tree that I put into a pot. The grass tickled my leg. I live out in Florida, so if anything tickles my leg, I want to look and see what it is. Anyway, I got this tree also. This was one of the larger procumbens from a garden center. I just repotted this one recently because it started, the ends of the branches started looking like they were starting to suffer from not getting enough water. So I repotted that one. All right, so here is the one that I did for the $50 bonsai challenge. I put it in this pot. It's not exactly the pot that I really like for this tree. It's a little bit more red than I would kind of like, but it looks really good. I really like how the tree came out, how it's got the really curvy branches. And this is a Juniperus chinensis of some sort. I don't remember the exact scientific name, but the Juniperus chinensis. They've got a little bit of the deadwood, which actually turned really nice color over the wintertime. That's natural. I did not put wood hardener or lime sulfur, which I probably should. I'll probably do that this year. I need to get some. I wired this branch up in front of the trunk because I just, like I said, I don't like to be able to see the whole trunk. And I've got a couple of pieces of wire on here. I did that in the video. I wired this one down a little bit and twisted it because one of the branches was facing straight up, so I twisted it to where it was all laying flat. So yeah, so that's my update on my $50 bonsai challenge. It's doing really well. I really like how the roots kind of come out of the side of the trunk here. I decided to plant it up high enough in the pot to be able to show that off. And you can see where the weed is like right in front of the deadwood. How the deadwood almost goes to the soil. I haven't gotten it quite to the soil yet. I'm gonna work on this this next year, taking off some more of the bark here and below it. I just don't want to kill anything above that. Later on I'll probably do some more deadwood. I'll let some of these another branch or something grow out longer. Probably this branch here, I'll let that grow out, get nice and thick, and turn that into deadwood. Make that the lower part of the tree where the deadwood is at. I don't think I'm going to do any deadwood on the top of the tree. At least I don't think so right now. So yeah, I really like this tree. It's looking pretty good. So all right, so that's gonna be it for this video, and I appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all's support. I'm gonna be doing a lot more repotting. I've got a lot of trees out here. This guy is starting to recover from the freeze that we had, and it's starting to get some really long gangly branches on it, which those are going to grow this entire summer as far as I can tell at this point. We will see how how it works out, how it recovers, and how it grows as to what I'm going to do to it. But anyway, a little bit more of an update. That one's going to be repotted. This one was just repotted not too long ago. I tried doing a video on that one also. It got messed up. So I got a new SD card, so I can start doing more videos. And that's my beech. So excited. It is popping leaves. Like yesterday it had buds that looked like this, and now it's got leaves today. So super exciting. Love it. Awesome. So thank you all for watching, and have a fantastic day. I'll see you on the next one.